Okay guys, it's that time again when we argue about shirts more than tactics. The 2026 World Cup is almost here and all the new national team kits are finally out. Some are instant classics, some are straight up disasters, and a few are so mid you'll forget them by next week. Today, we're ranking 7 that absolutely nailed it and 7 that seriously dropped the ball. And don't forget, whichever one you end up falling in love with, you can grab your favorite at goal90.shop and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. These are the 2026 World Cup home kits, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The losers. Okay, before we start hyping anything up, we need to talk about the misses. These are the 2026 World Cup kits that fumbled the bag. Let's kick things off with Sweden at number 7. You already know what this shirt looks like before you even see it. Bright yellow, blue details, clean and simple. The problem is, that's literally it. For a World Cup where other teams are playing with patterns, graphics and storytelling, this one feels like a rerun. There's a small tweak on the sleeve cuffs to keep kit nerds interested, but nothing that really screams new era or 2026 moment. It's not ugly, it's not offensive, it's just safe. And at a tournament like this, safe is the easiest way to slide into the forgettable pile. Coming in next, Belgium, and this one hurts a little because there's potential here. On paper, you've got red, black, yellow, and a subtle pattern that's meant to echo stained glass and the Red Devil's identity. In reality, it feels like we've seen this movie before. Flames, red shirt, dark trim, copy, tweak, paste. For a team that used to be branded as a golden generation, the kit doesn't say evolution, it says, yeah, that'll do. It's decent, it'll look fine on the pitch, but in a ranking of all the 2026 designs, fine just isn't good enough to keep Belgium out of the loser column. At number 5, Northern Ireland gave us one of the weirdest optical illusions of the entire drop. The colours are actually nice, different shades of green, crisp white details, strong identity. Then you look at the midriff and it suddenly turns into a gym meme. The 3-tone block across the stomach creates this fake ab shape that will look strange on almost every body type. Up top, it's a normal, traditional Northern Ireland shirt. Down the middle, it looks like someone printed a training vest over the jersey. It's not a disaster from every angle, but the overall effect is more distracting than iconic. Number 4 goes to the UAE. This is the definition of NPC kit. White base, red trim, a faint retro style pattern on the sleeves. If you freeze frame and zoom in, there's some nice detail that nods to old school 90s designs. But at full speed, on TV, in a tournament packed with wild graphics and big ideas, this one just fades into the background. It's not bad at all, if anything it's very wearable in real life. But it never really leaves generic international friendly territory. For a World Cup drop, that's a missed opportunity. In third place on the loser side, Qatar. The colour is still a win. That deep maroon will always stand out against the usual reds and blues. The issue is everything else. The layout and overall shape feel like a stock template, saved at the last minute by a central zigzag inspired by the national flag. Up close, that stripe is actually quite cool and gives the shirt some identity. But beyond that, there's not much going on. Simple collar, simple cuffs, huge empty spaces. For a country that just hosted the last World Cup, this follow-up kit feels surprisingly low effort. Taking the runner-up spot, Scotland. On the surface, it's exactly what you'd expect. Dark navy, white trim, traditional vibes. Look a bit closer and you do get a subtle cross pattern in the fabric referencing the national flag, which is a nice touch. But overall, the shirt has serious training top energy. The colour combo is one of the least exciting in the whole lineup, and the design doesn't do much to elevate it. Fans will wear it proudly because of the badge, not because the shirt itself is special. For a fan base as loud and passionate as Scotland's, the kit feels weirdly quiet. And at number 1, the biggest miss of the entire collection. Hungary. Red shirt, white and green trim, and that's pretty much where the conversation ends. No standout graphic, no risky concept, no storytelling detail you can point to and say, okay, that part's cool. It looks exactly like what you'd create if someone said, make a generic international kit in red, and you had 5 minutes. At a World Cup where other teams are using their shirts to shout about history, culture and identity, Hungary's design barely whispers. That's why, in a field full of bold ideas, this is the one that drops to the very bottom of the list. Before we get into the glow-ups, quick break. Hit like, subscribe and tell us in the comments which kit you'd ban from your TV screen for the entire tournament. And if one of these losers is secretly your guilty pleasure, you can still grab it over at goal90.shop and get it shipped straight to you. Alright, now let's switch vibes and talk about the 7 kits that actually got it right. The winners. Let's start with number 7, Italy. They haven't even booked their ticket to 2026 yet, but the kit is already acting like they're back on the biggest stage. There's nothing crazy going on here, and that's the point. Deeper azuri blue, clean gold trim, a subtle laurel pattern, 4 stars sitting there like a flex. It's exactly what you picture when you think Italy at a World Cup. It feels like a classic rebooted rather than some experimental fashion collab. You see this shirt and you instantly know who it is, what they've won, and that if they do make it to the tournament, they'll turn up looking like they belong. Simple, confident, and very on brand. Next up, Spain. This one is just smooth. Red body, dark blue sleeves, and those thin vertical pinstripes running down the front so it doesn't look flat on TV. It keeps the traditional La Roja identity, but adds enough detail that it feels like a 2026 version, not a copy of an old template. It's the kind of shirt that will look even better once it's moving, with socks, shorts, and a full stadium behind it. Nothing wild, nothing gimmicky, just a smart modern Spain kit that will age really well in photos and highlights. At number 5 we've got Germany, and this one is pure nostalgia bait in a good way. The design clearly calls back to the famous 1990 World Cup winning shirt, with that black red gold band now reworked into sharp diamonds across the chest instead of just pasting the old graphic onto a new template. On top of that, there's the storyline. This is the final home shirt from their longtime supplier before the big brand switch, so it doubles as a tribute and a goodbye. Even if some people feel like they've seen this style before, it still hits hard as a last dance Germany kit. Japan slides in at 4, and honestly, they're just continuing their run of bangers. Deep samurai blue base, clean red and white accents, and that wave-like graphic through the middle that makes the shirt feel alive instead of flat. The best thing about it is balance. It's detailed enough to stand out in a crowd, but not so loud that it feels like cosplay. You can see this on the pitch, in the stands, or styled with jeans, and it still works. Another one for the collectors. Number 3 is Saudi Arabia, and this one surprised a lot of people in the best way. Dark forest green base, lighter green diamonds forming a geometric pattern, and then that unexpected purple detailing that just snaps on camera. It's got a clear cultural vibe without turning into a costume. The pattern feels rooted in something real, not random shapes for the sake of it. It's different, it's bold, and it actually looks expensive. This is how you do a statement World Cup kit. Now into serious heat with Mexico. This shirt looks like they dug up the legendary 1998 World Cup Aztec kit, studied every detail, and then built a modern version instead of a lazy throwback. Deep green returns, heavy graphic work across the front, big proud crest. It just screams host nation energy. It's one of those kits that feels instantly iconic. You can already imagine it in posters, murals, and highlight reels years from now. For a World Cup they're co-hosting, this is exactly the kind of shirt you want players walking out in. And at number 1, probably no surprise, Argentina. The blueprint hasn't changed much. Sky blue and white stripes, black details, clean layout, but the way they've upgraded it is what puts it on top. The blue stripes now come in 3 shades, with each one meant to represent a different World Cup title in Argentina's history, and the whole thing feels sharper and more modern without losing that classic identity. It's the perfect mix of history and evolution. You see it and immediately think of trophies, legends, and big moments. If there's one shirt that feels guaranteed to go down as the look of this World Cup era, it's this Argentina kit. Alright, that's our take on the 2026 World Cup kits. Tell us your personal top 3 and worst 3 in the comments. Smash like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for more kit deep dives. If you want any of these shirts, hit goal90.shop and level up your drip. The world's biggest tournament is coming, and the official FIFA World Cup 26 Tri-Under competition ball is here at the Goal90 shop. Designed for the game's biggest stage, it's built for precision, speed, and control. Right now, you can make it yours with 30% off plus free shipping. Don't just watch the World Cup, own a piece of it. Visit goal90.shop today and order now.